Could it be that the most controversial Christian movie ever was based on real-life, supernatural events that Hollywood has worked hard to hide? When Mel Gibson directed a very realistic movie about Christ's suffering, strange things started happening on the set in Italy. But not many people know that the most strange things happened in Jerusalem, where the last scenes were secretly shot. Cast members had dreams, healings that couldn't be explained, and saw things that can't be explained by science. This isn't just about movies. It's also about what happens when regular people enter Holy Land. People have kept this story from the public for years. If you enjoy content that helps you grow spiritually, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join our community for more inspiration. Let's get started. Mel Gibson demonstrated unwavering conviction by personally investing $30 million into The Passion of the Christ. A financial risk few directors would dare take. Rejected by major studios who feared controversy, Gibson pushed forward alone, creating a space where artistic integrity could flourish without interference. Industry insiders warned him that the project would end his career, yet he remained undeterred. "I knew this would be difficult," Gibson confessed in a rare interview. "But something was driving me forward that I couldn't explain. It wasn't just another film, it felt like a mission, a calling that demanded completion." His conviction extended to bold artistic choices. Using ancient languages, Aramaic, Latin, and Hebrew, wasn't merely for historical accuracy. Gibson believed these sacred tongues would connect viewers to Christ's suffering as if transported back to first-century Jerusalem. When advisors suggested subtitles throughout the entire film, Gibson reportedly replied, "Pain needs no translation." "When you're telling the most important story ever told," he told a skeptical producer, "you don't compromise for convenience. You honor the truth, whatever the cost." Before filming began, Gibson warned Caviezel that accepting this role would likely destroy his Hollywood career. The physical demands would be extreme, the spiritual weight immeasurable. Yet Caviezel didn't hesitate. "I felt called to this role," Caviezel explained later. "I was 33 years old, the same age as Christ during his crucifixion. My initials are JC. These might seem like coincidences, but I recognized them as divine signs." What followed was a transformation beyond method acting. Crew members said that Caviezel would sit alone and pray during breaks. Some people said that his face changed slightly in certain lighting, taking on traits that weren't his own. Sometimes we wonder what's beyond our physical world, and other times strange things happen that make us question what we think we know about life. In these situations, getting more understanding can mean the difference between being confused and being clear. This is exactly what The Secret of Jesus' Apparitions offers, a path to clarity and peace through his revelations. This ebook goes into his prophecies and offers insight into what lies ahead. It's available for free in the pinned comment. Grab it now before the edition's gone. Someone who does makeup said, "There were times when I looked at him and saw someone else in his eyes. It wasn't Jim anymore. It was something very old and important." "We were setting up the Last Supper scene when I brought Jim water. Maria Gutierrez, a production helper, remembered a very scary event. His voice had changed completely. It was thicker and had an accent I couldn't place. He thanked me, nevertheless. He didn't remember our conversation when I brought it up later. He seemed to have changed into someone else for a short time." While most of the film was shot in Italy, Gibson and a skeleton crew secretly traveled to Jerusalem for specific scenes. This chapter of the production has remained largely unknown until recently. It was during these clandestine shoots that the most inexplicable events occurred. The crew arrived during an unseasonably cold week. Local authorities had granted limited access to areas near the Garden of Gethsemane for night shooting only. It was here, among ancient olive trees, some dating back to the time of Christ, that the first unexplainable phenomenon occurred. As Caviezel knelt to recreate Christ's prayer before his arrest, every artificial light on set spontaneously extinguished. The crew scrambled to identify the electrical failure but found no technical explanation. Instead, witnesses described a soft, pulsating illumination emanating from the ground around Caviezel. This light bathed the actor in a bluish glow that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere simultaneously. A sound technician described the experience. "This wasn't manufactured. The light moved like it was alive, responding to Jim's movements. Our equipment registered no external light source, yet the illumination perfectly lit the scene. The temperature around him dropped dramatically, forming a visible mist that seemed to dance with the light." Gibson initially ordered all footage destroyed, fearing accusations of special effects trickery. Only years later did he acknowledge the event, stating simply, "Some things defy explanation. That night was one of them." What remained hidden was the mysterious wound that appeared on Caviezel's side during the Jerusalem shoots. While filming the crucifixion scenes, crew members noticed blood seeping through the costume, precisely where the biblical account places the wound inflicted by a Roman soldier's spear. When the costume was removed, medical personnel discovered a 3-inch laceration that appeared to have been caused by a sharp object. Yet no object had been near the actor. More perplexing was that the wound, while bleeding profusely, caused Caviezel no pain whatsoever. "I didn't feel it happen," he recounted. "I only knew something was different when I saw the crew's faces change. The doctor couldn't explain how it appeared. What's more, I felt no pain, none at all, despite the wound's depth. Instead, there was a sensation of warmth spreading from that spot throughout my body. The wound healed within 3 days, leaving no scar, a detail physicians found medically impossible given its depth. Blood samples taken revealed anomalies that lab technicians couldn't identify. In 20 years of emergency medicine, I've never seen anything like it," said Dr. Thomas Weiler. The wound had the characteristics of a puncture from a sharp, curved object, yet nothing had penetrated his costume. The healing pattern defied everything I know about human physiology. The spiritual forces that sometimes manifest in our world often leave us searching for answers. Our free ebook offers insights into these mysteries, available now in limited quantities. Check the pinned comment to claim yours before they're gone. Perhaps the most startling event occurred during filming near an ancient burial site outside Jerusalem. Gibson planned to shoot the resurrection scene near a 1st century tomb similar to the one described in Scripture. As preparations began before dawn, the tomb's interior was rigged with minimal lighting. When cameras rolled, something extraordinary happened. Multiple witnesses reported that the stone facade began to vibrate at a frequency that could be felt through the ground. Camera equipment registered the vibration, yet no seismic activity was recorded in the area. Then, as the cinematographer described, a light appeared inside the tomb that overexposed every camera we had. All 4 cameras malfunctioned simultaneously, yet everyone saw the light with their naked eyes. It moved like liquid gold, flowing out from the tomb entrance. 3 crew members reported temporary blindness lasting several minutes. Others described a sensation of electrical current passing through their bodies. A local production assistant who identified as a devout Muslim fell to his knees, later stating that he had seen a figure within the light that spoke to him in a language he didn't understand, but somehow comprehended. The archaeological supervisor, Dr. Avi Shemesh, initially dismissed the accounts as mass hysteria until reviewing his instrumentation data. The readings from our vibration monitors show patterns that simply shouldn't occur naturally, he admitted. Something generated energy waves that precisely matched the resonant frequency of first-century limestone, the exact material of the tomb. Natural phenomena don't behave with such intentionality. During the crucifixion sequence filming, a sudden darkness fell over the location, similar to the biblical account. Weather reports had predicted clear skies, yet thick clouds formed overhead within minutes, leaving surrounding areas in sunshine. What followed defies meteorological explanation. Multiple witnesses reported that a brief shower fell over the exact filming area, a rain described as warm and thick, with a distinct reddish tint. The precipitation lasted less than 5 minutes and was contained to an area of roughly 50 square meters, precisely where the crucifixion scene was being filmed. I extended my hand and caught some of it, recalled lighting technician David Morales. It was warmer than rain should be, almost body temperature, and had a viscosity closer to tears. The red tint wasn't subtle, it stained my palm for days despite repeated washing. Laboratory analysis revealed the liquid contained human blood components, yet with cellular structures unlike any known medical reference. Specialists found that the cells remained alive far longer than possible under normal conditions and exhibited healing properties when cultured with damaged tissue. Production designer Francesco Friggeri confirmed it in a private journal. The red rain fell exactly where our cross stood, nowhere else. The cameras captured it, but Mel ordered that footage locked away. I gathered some in a vial that I still keep. It hasn't evaporated or decayed after all these years. During the Jerusalem shoots, Caviezel's separated shoulder, an injury typically requiring weeks of recovery, healed overnight. The attending physician, Dr. Elena Wasserman, documented the injury with X-rays taken immediately after the accident. The following morning, she found no evidence of injury. In 27 years of orthopedic practice, I've never seen anything like it, Dr. Wasserman stated. The X-rays clearly showed the separation. 12 hours later, not only had the joint returned to perfect alignment, but all inflammation had disappeared. There's no medical explanation for such rapid healing. Similar incidents occurred with other injuries. Hypothermia that should have required hospitalization resolved without intervention. Deep lacerations closed overnight, leaving no scarring. Caviezel himself has spoken of these recoveries with reverence. I believe I was being shown that suffering has purpose when aligned with truth. Makeup artists reported another phenomenon. Realistic wound makeup applied for continuity would sometimes disappear, even though no one had removed it. We'd apply the makeup, turn around to put away our supplies, and turn back to find it gone, recalled head makeup artist Tina Castellano. We thought someone was playing pranks until it happened when Jim was alone. These unexplained phenomena point to something beyond our understanding. If you're intrigued by the veil between worlds, our free ebook goes directly into these mysteries. There are only a few copies left. The most enduring evidence of the Jerusalem phenomena lies in the transformed lives of those involved. Camera operator Marcus Stein, who had struggled with alcohol addiction for years, reported that during the tomb light incident he felt something reach inside me and extract the craving. He has remained sober since, describing it as not recovery through effort, but instantaneous healing. Production coordinator Fatima Harouche experienced recurring dreams throughout filming in which she conversed with historical figures from Christian history whom she couldn't have known about. These dreams contained historical details that researchers later verified as accurate but obscure. Harouche later became a religious scholar. Even more remarkable was security guard Eli Mizrahi, who had suffered from debilitating migraines since childhood. During the Garden of Gethsemane filming, he reported seeing a hand of light reached toward him. His medical records confirm he has experienced no migraines since, a remission his neurologists cannot explain. "I don't pretend to understand what happened," Mizrahi said. "I only know that for 30 years, migraines controlled my life. Then, in one moment, they were gone completely." Gibson made a conscious decision to keep the Jerusalem phenomena private, fearing they would overshadow the film's message. "Mel gathered us after the tomb incident," recalled set decorator Carlo Giavasi. He said, "What we're experiencing is sacred. It's not for publicity or profit. These signs are for us, not for promotional materials." There was something in his eyes that day, a mixture of awe and responsibility that silenced any objections. This explains why marketing focused on the film's historical and religious significance rather than the unexplained events. Gibson himself has deflected questions, typically responding, "The film speaks for itself. What happened behind the scenes is between those who were there and God." Yet the message conveyed through these events seems clear to those who experienced them. As Caviezel expressed in a private letter after filming concluded, "What we encountered wasn't just about making a film about God's love. It was experiencing that love directly, being transformed by it." Today, nearly 2 decades after the film's release, its impact continues to reverberate. Having grossed over $600 million worldwide, an astonishing return on a $30 million investment, the financial success tells only part of the story. The most powerful testament comes from Ephesians 3:20-21, which speaks of Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Those who experience the events in Jerusalem often cite this passage, noting that what transpired far exceeded anyone's expectations. For viewers unaware of these background events, the Passion of the Christ remains a powerful depiction of sacrifice and redemption. For those who witnessed the phenomena firsthand, it represents something far more, a moment when the veil between physical and spiritual realms momentarily thinned. As Gibson finally admitted in a recent interview, "There are things that happened during that production that I'll never fully understand. To this day, no one can explain them. Maybe that's the point. Some mysteries aren't meant to be explained, just experienced." Moments like these remind us that some experiences transcend ordinary explanation. Explore this spiritual journey further with our free e-book, but act quickly as they are running out. The story of the Passion of the Christ and its supernatural backdrop invites each viewer to consider their own relationship with the divine. As Romans 5:8 reminds us, "But God demonstrates His own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." This message of unconditional love transcends religious boundaries. The question remains, how do we deal with mystery when it comes into our lives? This is true whether you think the events in Jerusalem were caused by God or by natural forces that can't be explained. Each member of the cast and crew who was there had to answer this question. Many people's views on the world changed, and everyone agreed that something very important had happened. Perhaps that is the ultimate legacy of what happened in Jerusalem during those remarkable days of filming. Beyond creating a commercially successful film, beyond depicting Christianity's central narrative, the production became a catalyst for personal transformation. If these insights resonate with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Your super thanks support helps us create more content like this. Join our community and stay connected. When you think about these events, think about the invitation they send: to stay open to mystery, to admit that our understanding of reality may be less complete than we think, and to understand that the most powerful truths don't always come through explanation, but through experience. For those touched by this account, remember the words of Matthew 7:7-8. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. The invitation remains open to each of us. The choice to accept it is yours alone.